Model-based design involves testing of algorithm designs and environment models. The Simulation Data Inspector in Release R 2010b provides an easy way to quickly compare results from different simulation runs, as well as the simulation results against external data. Using this feature, you can inspect and analyze the effects of different configuration settings, data type specifications, and multiple sets of input data in your model. You can also verify the results from generated code against the simulation results. You can open the Simulation Data Inspector GUI from the Tools menu by selecting the Inspect Log Signals option. In the Simulation Data Inspector GUI, click on the Record button to capture log data from different simulation runs. In the model you're simulating, make sure you're logging the signal data that you want to analyze. To log a signal, you can use the Signal Properties option from the right-click menu and check the Log Signal checkbox. Now you can start running simulations with different settings, and the Simulation Data Inspector keeps recording signal data for the different simulation runs. I start by simulating this model as it is as the baseline for my comparison. Now I'd like to see the effect of, say, changing the solver. I run the simulation with the new solver settings. Now we have the simulation data from both the simulation runs in the Simulation Data Inspector. You can see the log data under these different tabs. You can customize the Signal Browser tables display by adding additional columns and grouping items with different criteria using the right-click menu. To rename the runs, just double-click the Run field of the table. I'm using the names of the solvers to easily identify the simulation runs. You can visually inspect individual signals by selecting them. The graph display on the right-hand side is updated with the selected signal data. Under the Compare Signals tab, you can compare data from two different signals by selecting the signals you'd like to compare. The signals and their difference are plotted in two different graphs. Use the zoom tools to look at the signals near a region. The graph showing the difference is also zoomed to the same time region, giving you a closer view of how the signals differ. To view the signals on a normalized scale, use the Plot Data on Normalized Axis option. The difference graph also shows the error tolerance that you can set for the signals. When comparing two signals, the tolerance values of the first signal corresponding to sig1 are used in plotting the difference graph. You can also plot the data in a new MATLAB figure window to further edit the graph and share it with others. In the Simulation Data Inspector, you can also compare all the log data between any two runs. To do this, select the Compare Runs tab and select the runs you'd like to compare. For the log signals that are common to the two runs, you'll see if there is any change. You can select the signals that did change and see how they differed across the two runs. You can also import external data for comparing with simulation results. In the Import dialog, you can specify the data source and where you want to import the data to. Finally, you can save a session of the Simulation Data Inspector to a MAT file and open it later to add more comparison data. This concludes the Simulation Data Inspector feature demo.